Ouch, how closed can your mind be? Ooh. So it's an interesting question. For example, if Joe comes to you and says, my car is gone. Gee, Joe, what happened? I have no idea. And you, in your compassion, say, well, Joe, I get it. I'll keep a lookout. And then Frank comes along and says, I really needed the car, and I should have asked, but I had to hotwire it, and I took his car. And you say, well, I forgive you. And Frank says, cool, I'm out of here. Nice, but who was offended? Who was hurt? Who was injured? Joe. His car was stolen. As merciful as we want to be, sometimes it is not accepted, nor is it achieving its purpose. We can be as wonderful and merciful as we want and try and take on the ills of the world and apologize for every little thing, even though we weren't the ones who were at fault. Perhaps more appropriately, we would have said to A, you need to go and return the car and make amends. That would be appropriate. But mercy is one of the things that Jesus brings to the Pharisees today. He gives them a question, and they know the answer. They know what the letter of the law is, and they can't be blind to the spirit of the law either. So are you going to be just or unjust? Are you going to be merciful or merciless? And they're silent because they know that however we answer, if we don't acknowledge Jesus and the good that he's doing even on the Sabbath, even though it's against the law to do something on the Sabbath other than worship God, so you can't heal, can't cure, can't work, etc., even though Jesus is going to go beyond that to the spirit of the law, they're still just like, try to trip them up, and guess what? We're right back in it again. And they were enraged that Jesus, he's just throwing it in our face. He knows the law. Why don't you wait and heal him on Monday, Tuesday, make an appointment for Thursday at 4:15. How about that? Jesus continually tries to get them to see beyond the end of their nose that there is something greater. And we sometimes fall into that very same trap. We get very myopic, very short-sighted in our vision. We don't see beyond the end of our nose. Because sometimes it's just too hard to change our hearts. Sometimes when family members leave home. And is there something we can do to reconcile? Sure there is. But will we be obstinate and stubborn? Well, until I get my apology, lots of luck. Well, not a whole lot of mercy and compassion there, I can tell you. However, remember, God reminds us that any religion, any faith that does not contain God's mercy is not from God. It is mercy I desire more than sacrifice. We know the letter of the law. Do not forget the spirit of the law, and whose spirit is the foundation of the law.